Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here from several different swap time. Some are going to be current Stampin' Up! Products. Some will be retired Stampin' Up! Products. And I told my mom about this, and she said, oh, you have to share some of my Happy Mail too. So our friend sent to my mother. So I took this is the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. Hey, hi Caroline. I took the catalog and I marked it so that I could show you some of the suites, some of the cards made from different suites of products. And if I knew what product it's made from, I'm going to definitely share it with you. So let me clear the decks. I'm going to stow many of them. And then I may even make more later. This suite of products is called Flowers for Every Season. Okay, it comes with, this suite of products has stamp sets, punches, designer series paper, dies. It's just an amazing suite of products. So the products I'm going to, or the Happy Mail and the swaps I'm going to show you were created with this suite of products called Flowers for Every Season, including the jar of flowers and including Celebrate Sunflowers stamp sets. Hi Susan, glad you could join me. And let's see what else we have in that suite. That's about it. Those two stamp sets. There's a punch, the jar of punch. Okay, and there is that designer series paper. Okay, so let me move that off to the side. Let me show you what I have that was created with that suite. Lots and lots of things created with that suite. So when I say swaps, we do swaps in several ways, not just because of COVID, but just because that's just how we roll. Some of my crafty friends and I just send each other cards. Okay, sometimes my team members and I, or we just send each other thank yous for things. So that's kind of like a swap. I send you something, you send me something, and we swap individually. And then there's also what's called organized swaps. And in some of these cards are organized swaps where we went to a coffee shop and we met up with a group. Hi, Kathy. And we just handed each other cards. And we physically did swap. So, and then also sometimes the crafters bring extra gifts for each other and 3D items, and we hand out things. All right, so this is a good one to start with. This was made by a lady, Maria, and she stamped it with the Lovely You bundle, the Lovely You. Okay, and there's a little cookie in here, and a little cookie, and it's a nice little box. And of course, I did travel around with it, but she did mention that this box does, it will like lay flat for storing or for mailing, which is nice. But I should have done that before I traveled with it, but you get the idea. It's really cute. And she made it by hand, and I'm going to get the dimensions, and she gave us all a sheet of dimensions, so I'm going to figure out how she did that. Okay, also from the Flowers for Every Season, Sandra, who organized the swap, gave everybody a little package. And in our package were the things we needed to make our make and take, and this jar had our initial on it, so I really liked that. So I was happy. And there was another card with a 3D jar that I couldn't travel with, and it was filled with hair gel, which is really cool because hair gel makes it look like the jar is filled with water. So anyway, I like that little gifty. Okay, so here's another one made with the Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. It's a card swap. Hi, Kim. And I like how they made this one with, see, there's like stitched, I think these are like the stitched circle dies, and they made a hole in them. So this is Velcroed together, but it's an actual card. Pretty neat. I really like that. So you could use it as a little purse or write little messages inside. It's just a very nice idea for a card. Okay, this was Jackie who did the swap, and it's again using that Flowers for Every Season designer series paper, again with these little, again, this paper is everywhere, these little gemstones. These are the in color gems. I'm going to put everything off to the right so you get to see it. Hey, hello from San Diego. I love crafty things. Hello. So this Thanks a Bunch, again, is from the Flowers for Every Season. It's that, see, Celebrate Sunflower stamp set, this one is, and then that's the designer series paper. So this box here, I love these. I've made a lot of boxes of sunshine with it. This box here, she put some Ghirardelli chocolates in it. It is a mini paper pumpkin box. And that was a little gift that we each got right at the swap. I love decorating mini paper pumpkin boxes. That was Mercedes. She made that one. Awesome. I love it. I think that's even embossed. I keep feeling it. It is. It's embossed. That looks like the new Bumblebee or maybe Crushed Carry or something. All right. These are all. This is embossed as well. I can tell here. Almost looks like copper. Looks like copper embossing powder. And this looks like it could be Crushed Carry or Bumblebee. The colors of this sunflower. In the Celebrate Sunflower stamp set. And I like that. Let's see what's inside. Oh, I like how she did the stitched. This is really nice. I'm wondering which one this came out of. I loved how the stitching is a nice card base. Let me move my light a little bit. Sorry about the light. I hope you can see that stitching. I'm going to make sure that's in focus there. But there's a nice sunflower here inside the card. Okay, beautiful. And here's another one. Now this one uses that same stamp, the Celebrate Sunflower stamps, but this one used the bundle. She used the sunflower dies. Okay, the sunflower dies bundle. So this is really nice touch too. And it looks like Early Espresso in the background there with some, looks like Old Olive. Okay, congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. Pretty nice. So who we get? Mercedes again. And Eva for this one. I'm trying to make sure I give credit, but if I forget, I can always go back and look. And if you want to know more about a card, I can find out more about a card by asking them. And you just have to tell me what minute in the video you saw the card that you want to know more about, because I'm not sure if I know everything about each of these cards myself. But I love how this card has the sunflower cut in half, so that when you're doing swaps, this would give you 2 sunflowers, which is nice, out of 1 die. You could use half for each card. This is the Coastal Weave embossing folder back here. I like that. See, this one doesn't have an inside matting, but that's okay. Really nice. And again, that Celebrate Sunflowers. This was a really popular theme for that swap. Okay, let's see what else. I think that was all that I have from that suite. Okay, so we'll put these over here. So then a couple cards were made from another suite called Tasteful Touches. Let me open up to that. In fact, in my catalog, I have so many things to show you. I can just take the stickies away as I show them to you. Okay, so this one used a couple of different products. It used 2 different suites. It used the World of Good and the Tasteful Touches. Okay, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of that. I have this card. I have this marked off next because of this particular sentiment. Hello, Caroline. You make the world a better place. But that was only part of how the card was made, and I do think it's in the back here. Tasteful Touches. Maybe I should have put the page number on the back of the cards, huh? This is what happens when you do a live. You sometimes just have to just wing it. Here we go. Okay, so this is what I was trying to show you. These 2 cards, this card and this card, was made of from the In Good Taste suite by Stampin' Up. So it's called In Good Taste. And you could sew this card here, You're So Special. And this one here is made with the In Good Taste. See, this flower is this flower here. And this feather is this feather here. And then you can see there's little background elements. This one looks like Cajun Craze, and I really like how they used the little embossing folder to put a piece of cardstock across the front there for that layer. And they used the Tasteful Labels dies. I mean, I just love this card. I love it. I love its elegance and simplicity at the same time. And this card, I love all the layering with the very vanilla ribbon and some twine. And I love all this layering and how she outlined, made it rustic again in the background. But that You Make the World a Better Place is from the World of Good suite, where these 2 flowers are from the Tasteful Touches. All right, so those 2 cards. Now let me show you. Oops, I think I forgot. This one was supposed to be from the other suite earlier. It got left behind. by the way. That was that Flowers for Every Season suite from earlier. And I like how she embossed it with the white powder. This is a Bermuda Bay card, and this one was from Nancy. Let's see who these cards were from. Soledad and Jill. That is a card from Jill. And that's a card from Soledad. Don't mind my handwriting. These are just, okay, this was Nancy. And so that celebrates some flowers. Okay, so let's see what else we have. We have a Forever Greenery card. I absolutely love this next card I'm going to show you here. Let me move this one. I think I said that was from Sandra. I hope so. All right, so Forever Greenery. It's a nice suite. I did a whole video on just this suite with the beautiful designer series papers, with these beautiful stamp set. So here, the stamp set Forever Fern is featured in this card here. This card here is by Arlene, and she used Forever Greenery designer series paper and Forever Fern stamp set. Yeah, I just love this paper, but wait till you see the fold on this card. I love this card because, okay, it has, so just at first it doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like it's a special fold. It has the embossing folder that's in this suite. It has these are like these small embossing folders that come in this suite. But check out this fold. I think I'm definitely inspired, and I'm going to start doing some folds like that. So in other words, the card doesn't open like this, like you would think, like a normal, it doesn't open like a regular card. That is the card. It's just brilliant. And I love like this, the way she stamped inside it. This is distinctive stamping when you can see the shading going on. And this little gold looks like from the Ornate Garden suite, that little gold thing. And I like these little flourishes. This is just such an awesome card. Again, Arlene. Okay, so this same folding, this same embossing folder, I should say, was used for this card. So look at a difference between what you can do with an embossing folder. I think that's just really fun to see how you can take a card and do something totally different with it. So this card, again, this was from their Forever Greenery. This embossing folder is from Forever Greenery, but this is the lovely you, this one. Miles apart, but still in my heart. I'll put that over here. This is a card by Maria, and I love how she used Magenta Madness. See what's on the inside, white. Magenta Madness, designer series paper, Magenta Madness ribbon, Magenta Madness heart, Magenta Madness embossing on just half of the card. I think that's just so nice how you can take one color and make such a fun card with just one color. All right. We can't stop looking at flowers, can we? There's so many flowers. The next two cards I'm going to show you are from this stamp set. This stamp set started in the occasions, or what we call the Spring Mini Catalog, and it carried over to the annual catalog. This Timeless Tropical stamp set. These two cards were made with that stamp set. This card here is made with the subtle embossing folder as well. She colored in the flower, and she even used a piece of designer series paper. Hi, Patty. I've been trying to go live forever, but this is my first quiet moment. That's why you don't see me live very often. My house is quiet finally. Our friendship is timeless. Hi, Anastasia. Now this is why I wanted to show you the inside of this card. I like how she did this. This is, again, Maria. This is one of those she put in the mail to me. She actually sent it to me in the mail. Maria did. So look, I like how she wrote this little message in here. I did not sign this card before I sent it off to you. Instead, it holds my warmest thoughts, invisible but true. And if you find you need to brighten someone's day, then take this card, sign it, and send it on its way. Okay, so this is one of the things that I think is really neat. She put it in there so I could pull this off and send it to someone else, which I think that would be just a great idea. And I do that oftentimes too. And it was just something, when I was growing up, my mother never really signed birthday cards so that we could reuse them. And I kind of got in that habit, but now I do it to give people inspiration and happy mail. And I do give it so that they can reuse it again. I try to do that myself too. And then this one is June. I like how June, see, again, Timeless Tropical. I like how she used this is called the Coastal Weave embossing folder, and a little frame there. Some of the flowers, the plumerias, and some of the leaves. So this is really nice too. May your birthday be memorable. And that was sent in the mail. So that was the Timeless Tropical. Very nice. Okay, this one is one I made at a make and take. So we went to the swaps. It's from the Under My Umbrella set. And it's called the make and take. Meaning, sometimes we just make the pieces were given to us and we make it. I'm not going to turn to that page. I just want to, let me just shut this for a second so I don't confuse you. But sometimes we just make things at the events that I go to. And the reason I took this one out to show you, let me put my sticky notes in there before I get the next flower ones, is there are a couple things. This Sandra, who came up with the make and take, she used packing tape on this umbrella. I think that's brilliant. Like actual packing tape. Look at the sheen on it. So you can use packing tape instead of lamination, and you can still punch through it with the Umbrella Builder punch. So that was a fun little make and take for us. So it's just an idea. All right, so now for the next one I wanted to show you was this Blossoms in Bloom. What I'm trying to do in this video is I'm trying to show you more the newer things first, before I get to the retired things, the newer type of products first, meaning in this annual catalog, and then some of the next group of things I show you might be retired, but these are definitely current. This is called Blossoms in Bloom. It's a really, really neat stamp set with a die, with a coordinating die. And it's less, hi Jean, how you doing? Thanks. It's one of the things I didn't get, but a lot of new demonstrators did get this last month because you were able to get a bundle for free when you joined last month. So this was like the most expensive bundle we have, and the die is so intricate. So when you see why. So I want to show you the two cards in context here with this page here, just so you know where they came from. So here's the page. Now you could take, so this is just so amazing what you could do with the same set. So here's what you could do with just the stamps and no dies. So this one is by Sandra. She used the Celebrate Sunflowers for the sentiment. That's where she got the thanks a bunch. She used the Blossoms in Bloom for the stamps. Okay, so look at that. I would see this in the catalog and say, what in the world do you do with that? But then when you start looking at these cards made with it, right? And you take these extra, when you color them and you do this, she even stamped it onto like the wooden background. I just love how that came out, but it doesn't look like it would come out that nice when you just see the stamp set. Then you take it a step up. So I would call this this is a kind of like this is not beginner, this would be like intermediate card, but then this would be like, you take it one step further, so you could do it sort of advanced now with you got your die. So now you have your die, this blossom, many layered blossoms dies with some Wink Stella on there, and look how you could take it up a notch, and add that extra layer of dimension to the same kind of card. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. Hi, Cheryl. Well, I'm glad you're using your machine more often now, Cheryl. I often think about how amazing you are. So that was pretty fun. I mean, these are pretty. Let's see if she put anything inside hers. Nope, a lot of times layer the insides. Anyway, so that's Blossoms in Bloom, and I really like those cards. And by the way, I didn't have them with me here, but I did make party favors for my friend's daughter's first Holy Communion ceremony using His Love stamp set. I don't have those. I've already given them all out, and they've already used them, and they're well received. I'll try to replicate it and make me another one, just so you know. All right, so I have now what's called this one is going to be, it's called Mini Mates. Let me get rid of some of these sticky notes. Sorry. Then we won't keep looking for the same pages here that I marked off. There we go. Many Mates. So I got this and I was like, oh, I wonder how she did this. But then I have to sometimes, when I get a card from someone, I have to figure out how they made it. And this is how they made it with the Many Mates dies. Look at that nice intricate die. So I really liked seeing how it was used on a background. So that's this die, and it covers up the whole card. See, this is just without doing anything to it, without cutting that Many Mates apart. But then if you cut it apart, like in the picture, you can make extra little layers and lines and these patterns. So I really think that's kind of neat, right? And just thinking of you because you make me smile. I like these sentiments. And also on my jar, earlier that I showed you, the little jar that Sandra made. See, You're Just So Fabulous is from this many mates as well. Okay, so things tie together. Nothing on the inside of that one. That was by Nancy, Many Mates. Okay, so I like to always show my favorite card last. So this, I do have another swap card, but I'll show that last. Okay, so let's show you some of my, let's see what else we have in here marked off. We have a couple of them. I'll show you a couple of things that are marked off. This from something from the Butterfly Gala. This was a card that someone sent me a couple months ago, and I just haven't had a chance to put it on my YouTube yet, but I really love it. It's made with the Butterfly Gala, and it was made with the Share Sunshine digital stamp set. So it's your birthday, let's digitally party. Pretty fun. And then there's notes inside there. So that was Anne, Butterfly Gala, and Share Sunshine digital stamp set. Okay, and let's see if I have anything else marked off in here. Beautiful World. Not really. Anything else? Oh, I do have some later. All right, so now I will show you some more things, some more fun things to look at. This one was a swap in the mail. Nancy, Ornate Floral 3D. Ornate Floral 3D. Why did I write that? Oh, that's the embossing folder. The embossing folder is it's the Ornate Garden Suite, and there's an embossing folder. But wait till you get a load of this card. Look at what she did here. Puts me to shame, right? Look at this thing. No, it's never a competition. You just do what you can do. But this is just, like, it blew me out of the water when I got this card. I was like, why is it so heavy? It's because of all of the embossing and the layering and the, I mean, it's a pop-up card, but look at all the layering and embossing and flowers. She used the 2 different daisy punches we have. I know, that's what I said. Wow. I'm going to try to stand it up. I was like, wow. We have 2 different daisy punches in our catalog, in the back of our catalog. And she used both of those. And then in each one, I think she used 2 or 3 daisies just for those. And then even punched out the centers. And there's more daisy layering. And this just blew me away. So I've been saving this card for a couple of months. And I said, I need to put this on one of my YouTube videos in the future. So I carried it around with me to show you. All right, so, I mean, these cards are all pretty, but sometimes it just goes over the top. Okay, so now I'll just lay it there. I'll leave it there for eye candy so we can admire it. All right, so we have, sometimes there's prizes. So in my team, and this was something that was sent to me a couple months ago as a prize, and I thought I want to share just a way that you can encourage others with little gifts and things. So this was a thank you from, oh, did I tell you who this was from? Make sure I told you. I told you it was Nancy. I did tell you that was from Nancy, just make sure. Okay, this one here is from Hattie, my team leader, okay, and she put that in there for me as a prize a little while back, probably during the last catalog period. But isn't that neat? It's a card with an envelope inside. So this is just a little note. She didn't put a note because she had written what I won on the outside. But like this is, you can put a note inside it. It's like a pocket card. And you glue in the sides here, put a pocket. And these little, what are they called? Happiness Blooms enamel dots. It doesn't matter what's inside. It's so awesome, right? But it's this nice little thank you card. And I really don't know what she used to stamp that. But I do like how it's stamped in the back. I don't remember. I don't know what stamp set that is. But it looks like Pacific Point color. All right, so while we're doing florals, we got lots of florals going on. This is another floral punch we have. This was part of that. Let's see, I think I wrote it. Nancy Painted Poppies. This one was from the Painted Poppies, and maybe this one. But then this one's not. It's a punch. And this is some retired paper. This wasn't a swap. This was just a card we did in the mail. So like I said, that's why I titled this video Swaps and Happy Mail, because sometimes we swap and sometimes we just send each other's mail. So this is just another thing I got in the mail from a friend. Life is better with a friend like you. And it's Polly, and she used Painted Poppies. She's one of my scan and cut friends, in fact. She wrote a really nice note in here. Yeah. She said that she wanted to thank me for what I taught her with her scan and cut, and she wrote a nice note inside. And then she even decorated the envelope with this. So that was really nice of her to send that. And then while we're on this poppies, this is my team member, Joe. He created this card for me because he won a prize, because I'm also a team leader in Stampin' Up, so I have a team, and then I do prizes, and he won a prize, and then he thanked me for the prize. So he created this, Joe created this with painted poppies. And I really like how all the splashes of color and everything. Okay, so lots of fun floral things. Okay, this was something I got in the mail a while back, and a happy birthday card. This was made with from Jill, and it was from the Tropical Chick. And I'm thinking, or chic, I'm not sure if you say chic or chick, but I don't think you can get this one anymore. But still, very inspiring, right? Sometimes you can get part of what I'm showing you, or you can at least get the idea of what I'm showing you, like how to layer up and how to... So I hope you're inspired. I really hope you're inspired, because I'm inspired when I show you these things. And pulling them out again, I was kind of in a crafting rut because I had some like company and stuff, and then I was like, how do I even get back into this? Like my whole house is a mess, my table's a mess, my head is cluttered. And to get back into it, to get my crafting mojo back, I took out my cards and I started figuring out how they were made, and now I have my crafting mojo back. So this is, it looks like some retired paper called Tea Room for this card. I really like how she folded the card. And let's see, Eva did this. And this is that ornate 3D embossing folder that was used in this one. Same kind of embossing folder. So I really like that. And I think the Hello Friend is from the Seriously the Best stamp set, I'm pretty sure. And that looks like the small bloom punch. And, you know, so I just like all the elements on this card. Okay. So this one is made with, this is a really neat fold, made with some retired DSP. Meaning, I forget what did I write? I wrote SAB because it was during celebration. It was like honeybee or something. Yeah, thanks, Crystal. Crafting mojo is like, it's like easy to keep up with it. You keep your crafting mojo when you keep crafting. When you stop crafting, you have to get your mojo back to be able to craft again. But if you don't stop in the first place, you don't lose it. But thinking of you, sweet friend. So I just love this fold. So it's a gatefold. I've done a lot of gatefold cards. So actually, this part in itself is a gatefold, and I've taught about gatefold cards, and I did a video on gatefold cards, and we did even some scan and cut stuff with it. We'd cut out the snowmen and put them on the gatefold. So now you take it one step further, and you do your gatefold, and instead of using a string, like I was teaching you to tie it together with a string, this is better because it's like you use 3 more strips, and then it closes and stays together that way. I really like that. All right, so this is more, so speaking of celebration and retired items, these next couple were made with retired items. If you spent, like during celebration, meaning back in January, February, March, if you had an order or you hosted a party and there was $300 worth of sales, you were able to get this little ladybug stamp set. And I gave away at least 6 of these during, maybe more than that, during celebration to my customers who used a host code. They were able to get this little ladybug stamp set. I gave away so many I didn't even keep one for myself. And but they are so fun. This little ladybug is so fun. I'm not sure what paper she used. It's probably that old Valentine's paper. But this was a card I got a couple months ago from Melinda, the little ladybug. And I'm just seeing what's inside. I don't want to open people's, like, you know, show you the personal messages inside. But if there's nothing inside her, I would show you. But I like how she layered up this flower. I'm not sure how she made this flower. This one was from, let's see, Jackie. And I'm not sure how she layered up the flower. Okay, and then this one, this was just me showing, I just wanted to show you the envelope that came with this card. How she decorated the envelope. Okay, so this, and then this card is it's for my brother for Father's Day, but I'm kind of late giving it to him. I'm giving it to him like on Thursday this week. I wanted to give it to him in person, but I know I'm late, but it's because he loves to golf. And my friend, Susan, her name's Susan, she made this for me to give to my brother because I don't have this. I really loved it. I saw it on her page, and then I said, oh my gosh, I love this, and my brother would love it. He loves to golf. And I didn't have this stamp set. And I forget what stamp set it is. I know the paper is Country Club, but I didn't have this little man, and I said, I have to have it for my brother. All right, so as I was saying, sometimes when you go to the swaps, I have another 3D item. Sometimes when we go to like an event, and then people walk around and the other crafters give out things. So this was one of the things that was given out at the event. little pack of M&Ms. And it's just like, I love making 3D things too, so this was fun. And this was from, her name was Maria, who made this. And I asked about the paper. It was an in color that retired recently. It was called Call Me Clover, designer series paper. It's one of the colors that recently retired. Okay. My mom said I need to share her Happy Mail, so I'm going to show her Happy Mail next, and then I'll get into a couple more of my things. But my mom was like, oh, show your viewers these things that I was sent. So my mom, this Susan, same person here who made this card, my mom had sent her a face mask, because my mom makes face masks. And Susan sent my mom a thank you card. And this is made with the Botanical Prints product medley. So my mom said to make sure I show you this because she loves how pretty her card is. So thank you, Susan. And then Rita thanked my mom for an apron that my mom had made her. So Rita made her this card, and I love it. Let's see if there's a message inside. No, this one has, she sent a message on another paper, but I like how she gave my mom a card that my mom can reuse. Tough times are what friends are for. I don't know what product she used, but it's so inspirational. And this card is something that was bought and sent to my mom, but we both loved it so much and thought I have to put it on my video. So there's a company here called Love Pop, okay? And my mom's birthday was a couple months ago, and her friend Mona sent her this card from, Mona ordered it from Love Pop. So I'm going to show you the message first, and then you can see what happens. So slipping in the side, right? It's a little message that comes out the side. Happy birthday, Anne. Wishing you a wonderful 88th, and it's from Mona Bradford. So thank you, Mona. I'm going to show this video to you later. Look at this card. I mean, fantastic. I'm like, hello. Hello, hello. I can't believe this card. I didn't make it with the scan and cut. You probably could. I didn't make it with my machine. I didn't make it with Stampin' Up! Dies. I'm not saying we couldn't make something like this, but I just would rather get something like this that's already like made because it's just so detailed and so much work. So I really do love this card, and my mom absolutely loves this card, and she keeps it right by her bed, you know, next to her. I know, that's what I said. Like I said, I didn't make it, but still inspirational. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, before I show you, so I'll show you something like another one of those fun things that were given out during the swap. This is Make Today Ridiculously Awesome. There's a stamp set called Ridiculously Awesome, and it's one of the stamp sets designed by $1 Million Achiever. One of the Stampin' Up! Demonstrators got to design the stamp set, and these were given out. These are some pistachio nuts and some blue diamond almonds, okay? And I did have a card that I told you I had a jar card, but I can't show you that because it got messed up on the plane. So I'm going to show you a couple of my cards that I swapped, and then I will end with like my favorite card of all the swaps that I didn't make. So I'm going to show you 3 cards I made. This is similar to the one I swapped. This is just not the exact one I swapped because I don't have any of them because I gave them all out. And normally I put a piece of designer series paper in here. Let's see if I did it for this one. Nope. I didn't even get a chance to. But normally I put like a piece of the Whale of a Time designer series paper on the inside that has like seaweed on it. But like I said, I gave away all of my swaps. The inside of my cards would look something like this with this paper, but it's wider. So that's what I did for the inside of my cards. It's come from my favorite suite, so I just wanted to mention it here because I was the only one that swapped with that suite in the whole group. So I was the only one that made cards with the suite. So the really nice thing about swapping is I got cards from other people made with products I don't have. Like I don't have these products. Like I don't have this suite. I don't have half of these things. So I love swapping because I get to trade things. So this is what I made my cards with, the cards I'm showing you. And this one's one I gave out, except that I hand stamped all the whales, and I used the Whale Builder punch. I used the Whale Builder punch like this, and I stamped my whales and I punched them out. And so these ones are actually from my designer series paper, this card. But I did do all my stamping for the ones I used for the swap. Okay, well, one thing about that suite is it has a really cool embossing folder that goes with it. It's fantastic. And the Whale Builder, I'm just showing you. The Whale Builder punch, the Whale Builder stamp is distinctive, meaning this is a stamp, and this is the designer series paper. You can't really even tell which one's the stamp. I mean, the stamp has so much shading and detail built right into it, so I love that about that suite. And then this was my upside down mistake card. I didn't swap this, I just kept it. I'm gonna give it to someone. Let's roll with it, because my card's upside down, and my turtle's Crush, he's in the East Australian current. And I didn't put anything inside there. And then this card is one that I swapped, meaning the card I'm gonna show you next is one I sent to people in the mail, like I sent it out. And this is just the one I had left over. This was, I think I was trying to put Whisper White in the inside, but then I ran out. So I'm putting Petal Pink in the inside. That's my unfinished one. But this is what I swapped, meaning I gave this card out. This was from the Way to Goat stamp set, Way to Goat. I made a little hole, the little goats coming out the hole. So I'll explain what I did with my scan and cut and which part I didn't. So first I just used a piece of gray granite cardstock, and then I used the die. I used an actual die. I forget the name of the die actually at this point. But for my scan and cut, I cut out these little goats, these two goats. And then I made some stamping masks to help me color them in gray granite. Okay, so I made some stamping masks. And so those two pieces, this piece and this piece, these two goats, I used my scan and cut. The hole itself, to cut in the precise location, I used the scan and cut. So I took pieces of cardstock and I cut holes in them using my scan and cut to make, and then this part though is embossed. Then I took the pieces and I embossed them in Petal Pink using the Old World Paper 3D embossing folder. And then I used a little piece of the In Good Taste designer series paper. All right, I'm clearing the table for my favorite card. And some of my team members had already seen, when I showed this in my team meeting, some of them had seen this and some of them hadn't. Okay, this was made by, her name is Catalia. She made what's called an infinity card. I personally had not seen this. If I had, I'd only seen still pictures of it. I hadn't seen it or felt it, and so I just am so impressed by it. So here's the front and here's the back. So an infinity card is just one that you just keep folding and folding and folding, and it just keeps, and then it takes you like I guess 4 folds to get back to normal. So this, first of all, it's Flowers for Every Season designer series paper. That's what it is. This is the Misty, or whatever that's called, Moonlight something. Misty Moonlight? I already forgot the name. And this is like the Bumblebee and all that. Okay, so here's how it works. You have a card. You get a card. You open it up. There's your inside of your card. And you open it up again. And there's the inside of the card. And you open it up again. And there's the inside of the card. And then when you do the 4th open, you're back to the beginning. And I'm just like in awe. So I do have a tutorial in a PDF, so I'll figure out how to do it, you know, and show you. Like with my scan and cut, of course, I'm going to cut all the pieces out with the scan and cut. Like these little pieces, because I asked one of my team members who said she makes them, and she said it took her 15 minutes, that it was easy to make. But still, even if it only takes 15 minutes to assemble, to me it would be mind-boggling to have to cut out all the little pieces of paper precisely. So that is called an infinity card. I've also seen them called, as I just started researching this, they were called the never-ending cards. And it did have to go in a bigger bag and a bigger envelope, of course, than a normal card. So here's a normal card, like an A2 card, and this one's bigger than that. All right, so with that said, I hope you were inspired. And if you like what you saw from our annual catalog, please use my link to go check out and shop online. And starting August 3rd, you are going to be able to get you're going to be able to see a whole new catalog called the Holiday Catalog. So right now, this is what I showed you is mostly things from the annual catalog by Stampin' Up. And I was sure to indicate which things were retired that you can no longer get. But you know, this is current. These are current. This catalog's current until next summer. But in August, we're also going to have Holiday Catalog. And I'm working on doing swaps for that as well. So we'll be able to show you the pre-order when I open that up in a couple weeks when I get my items. And I'm going to be showing you some cards that we swap with others next quarter and show you what we can make from that. And I also have one more swap with my team. There's 18 of us that are doing a swap like similar to what I showed you with these products, these new catalog products. and that's due on the 15th, and then we'll probably get them back about a week later. So toward the end of the month, I'll be showing you 18 more cards made by my fantastic team members. So that's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it.